Do I do anything with it?
Just ignore it.
I'm Kat and I'm an alcoholic. And thank you, Sally, for asking me to speak and giving me an opportunity to do service work. I'm not going to lie, this is not my favorite thing to do. It does make me nervous to stand up here in front of y'all, but AA saved my life. And not only did it save my life, it gave me a life. And my life today is so much better than I could have ever imagined. And that's why, even though I don't like it up here, that's why when someone asks me to do something for AA, I suck it up and I get up here anyways and I do it. And it's the very least I can do. I prayed and I asked my God to guide my thoughts and my words and use me and my story tonight to get his message across. So with that said, I don't know what is going to come out of my mouth. Let's see. My sobriety date is July 4th, 2008. I just moved here 3 October. I do not have a home group yet here. Y'all are nice. We are. I have a sponsor who has a sponsor. I try to make 3 to 4 meetings a week. I'm a big women's meeting person. No offense, men. I don't know why. I love women's meetings. Let's see what it was like. I'm 27. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. My sponsor picks on me and says that I was an alcoholic when I was born, and I definitely had the tendencies before I picked up my first drink. I remember being in preschool, and at the end of the day, the teacher would hold up stuff like shoes and stuff that the kids lost and toys and say, "Who does this belong to?" And the kid would say, "It's mine," and then you'd go home. And I guess you're 5 or 6 in preschool, and I remember it vividly. The teacher, she held up this purple and pink sparkly belt, which was not mine. And she held that up, and I looked around, and no one claimed it. And my hand shot up, and I went home with that belt. And that pattern of the ism, the I, self, me, and lying, cheating, stealing to get what I want when I wanted started then, and it continued for a long time. Like I said, I was born in Arizona. I have an older brother. Both of my parents are still alive. Before they got divorced, I have good memories. I remember from an early age, I always was afraid. I never knew what it was. I now know what it was. It's that impending doom the book talks about. And I had it from the time I can remember. I was just scared, and I didn't know what I was scared of. I was just scared, and I felt like I was anxious. I was waiting for something bad to happen, and I can remember turning and saying, "I'm scared of the dark," when I was little. "I'm scared of this," and just trying to grasp onto things to point to what I was afraid of. And I always felt like something was wrong with me because of that from a young age. Like I said, my parents got divorced when I was 8. My mother had an affair with a man who it lasted for quite a while, and the man was inappropriate with me, and it was something that my mother was aware of. And I only say that because through God and this program, my mother is one of my favorite people in the world today. This program has helped me heal. This program has helped my family heal. Other programs have helped them heal, and I can say that she is so dear to me today, even through all that, and I could not say that before I got sober. So I forgot where I was. Have an older brother. So that happened when my parents got divorced. My brother and I kind of decided it's us and forget our parents. We're each other's family. He was my world until he got married. He was my rock. He was the only person that was there. He never he never left me. He never, all the chaos that was going on around me, he was always there. He got into drugs and alcohol at an early age, and I later followed in his footsteps. I took my first drink when I was in 6th grade, and I shared about this last night. I was in 6th grade, and our parents weren't home after school, and my brother was off doing whatever he did. And I can remember taking that first drink, and I didn't get drunk, but I knew after taking it that big ball of fear or whatever was inside of me and anxiety went away. And I remember thinking, I found something, that goes away. After following that, I did get drunk, and like I think everyone says, it was fun for a while. I played soccer my entire life from when I was little up through college, and that was something, that was the other stability in my life. That was something that I loved, that was an outlet, that was a passion of mine. And it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I found a lot of other college athletes and whatnot in the rooms, and it doesn't make any sense that they don't go hand in hand. But for me, alcohol and soccer that's all I did. When I was 16 years old, both my parents lived in Arizona. They were divorced. My brother lived in Arizona, and I came home from school one day and said, I'm moving to Greensboro, North Carolina to live with my grandmother who has Alzheimer's, and that's what I'm going to do. Looking back, I was running. The book talks about the geographical cure, which does not work. At that point, my parents were my drinking and using, I hid it so well early on that they honestly didn't know if something was wrong with me mentally, if I was going through an emotional something, if I was just a teenager, because my behavior was like we are when we're drunk. We're like, what does it say, a tornado going through, or a bull going through a china shop. We're crazy, and my parents did not, no one knew what I was doing, so I just looked like a crazy person. Within 2 weeks, I was packed up and moved across country to live with my grandmother who has Alzheimer's, so I basically was on my own with a credit card by myself, and I was enrolled in school. I quickly took advantage of that, and within about 3 months, I wound up at Moses Cone Behavioral, because still no one knew that I was drinking and using, and my behavior was not normal. My life was unmanageable. At an early age, I was a junior in high school and was not going to school. I thought I was depressed. I was not like other 16, 17-year-old girls in the junior class. After 30 days there, I still was lying about my drinking. I came out of there, and I put more of an effort into school because college was coming up. I was able to get a scholarship to Appalachian State to play soccer. And I thought, this is my ticket, things are looking up. I had made friends, I was going to room with one of my best friends. This was going to be good. She wasn't one of us, she was normal, she knew how to go out, and you could still go to a party and not drink. I remember I was thinking about that the other day. Being in high school, and you'd have your group of friends and you'd go out and you're not supposed to drink, but you did. And there would be girls that said like, no, I have my SATs tomorrow, or SAT practice, or no, I'm driving tonight. And I could never fathom that. That never made sense to me. I could not meet up with people to go to the party without having a drink. I could not I could not do anything. I was so uncomfortable within my skin, and I was so, that fear and that just lost. I felt so lost. But when I had the drink in me, I felt like I was normal, that I was in control. And a lot of times I felt better then. I knew I was below you, but when I was drunk, I felt like I was up here. Where was I? I went to Appalachian State, and I was on the right track. And freshman year, I tore my ACL playing soccer. And I remember vividly thinking, it's about to get bad quick. Soccer was the one thing that kept me the least bit disciplined with school, with health, with anything. And when you tear your ACL, you're out about 9 months. And it did. It got real bad real quick. I stopped going to class completely. I isolated myself. I think I hung out with about 2 people, and I chose them because they used and drank like I did. That's what we did all day. I had completely given up on everything. And at this point, I knew it. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was not normal, and I thought something was just really wrong with me. My sophomore year, I got a DUI, and somehow my mom ended up bringing me home to Greensboro. And there's a treatment center there, Fellowship Hall, that my brother had gone to. He is not sober today, but he went to Fellowship Hall and hung out with us for a little bit and decided he's not one of us, but that's his deal. My brother went there, and they thought, we're going to take her there. My mom had a man from the Ringer Center take me because I was so not nice to her as we are to her moms. So a man dropped me off there, and I went in for my assessment, and he just dropped me off because thinking we've spoke to them, she'll go. And I went in there, and the lady told me that they couldn't help me, that something was wrong with me. And my behavior now, looking back, I understand what she was saying, but I created a scene and stormed out, cussing people out to realize I don't have a car. I have to turn back in and ask them to use the phone to call my mother. And that is, to me, it says in the book, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that is so me. Because sober me, I'm shy. I would never think of cussing someone out or drawing attention to myself in a crowd, and you put some drink in me, and I am the complete opposite. I think I deserve everything that I want, that you need to listen to me. So with that said, I went to treatment in Mississippi for 11 months. I was introduced to the big book there. I was introduced to the disease concept. I wish I could say that I stayed sober after I got out of there, but I didn't. I stayed in Mississippi to finish up school, and I ended up getting a soccer scholarship there. And there was about a 2-year period between treatment, 2005 to 2008, 2.5 years, where I was in and out. I wanted this program, but for some reason I couldn't stay stopped. For me, I had a sponsor who walked through all these relapses with me, and I used to be really down on myself about it, and I didn't understand, and every time I would come back in, my sponsor would tell me that this is the best thing that's ever happened to you. And I would think, I hurt so bad, I have so much pain, so much fear, all of this stuff, all these feelings inside of me, how is this the best thing? And today, I know what she means, and it's only through this program and God, only God, the God of my understanding, can turn something so bad, so painful, into something good. And that good is that when a newcomer comes in or someone comes in who's relapsed, I can relate with them. And when, I call it, our souls speak to each other. When we speak to each other, it's more than just like when I talk to someone on the street. There's something in my heart that connects with yours, and that's the gift from it. Let's see, this last time, I ended up going back to school, graduating. That was it right before I came back in. My last drunk, I got to a point where, because I'd been in and out, and it's 2.5 years, and I hear people talk about in and out for 10, 20 years, and that I can't fathom how they do it, because that 2.5 years, I was at a point where I just wanted to die. I really did not believe that I could do this. The pain that came with coming in and getting a taste of that freedom and a taste of the love that y'all give and peace and a little bit of serenity, and the anxiety would stop, and then going back out and feeling so helpless, and this disease is so powerful. I really felt like I couldn't get it. And I got to that point, and the book talks about it, the jumping off point, where God is everything or He is nothing. And this last time I came back, I really had the gift of desperation. I definitely wanted this more than anything. And I kind of felt like if this didn't happen, I didn't know what else to do. Luckily, thus far, it has stuck. I came back in. I did what I did every other time I came back in. I did 90 and 90. I had my sponsor. I had to call my sponsor twice a day. I had to check in with her and tell her everything I was doing, because I obviously was not doing something right. I had to pray to a God that at first I didn't understand. I didn't understand why certain things would happen to me in my life. I didn't understand why I wouldn't stay sober. And I was told to just do it. And it is amazing to me that where my relationship with my God was when I started in 2008 and to where it is now. I can remember early on hearing my sponsor talk about her God and her relationship, and she spoke about it as if it were her best friend, as if it were her cheerleader, her mother, her father, her best friend, everything. And I wanted that. I didn't grasp it, because at that point my God was just someone that I spoke to because she told me to. And through all the trials and tribulations and the ups and downs in sobriety, my God has become that to me. This past year, this past year has probably been the biggest growth year out of my 4 years. Let's see what. Oh, at some point, at a year sober, I moved back to Greensboro. So in 2009, I moved back to Greensboro. I got a job. I hooked in with my the women's group there was my home group. In December last year, I had a whole bunch of things come at me all at once. I quit smoking all within a week of each other. I quit smoking. I got engaged, and I got some, to me, devastating medical news. And this past year, I've had to walk through a lot. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of unknowns, a lot of extreme joy, and a lot of fear. And I can say that my relationship with my God this past year it's on a different plane. I look to my God not only to keep me sober, because this program is so much more than that, but to get me through life. I never knew how to live. From a little girl, I didn't know how to live, and I still don't, and I'm still learning. And through y'all and this program and these steps and my relationship with my God, I'm able to walk through things like what's happened this past year. one of the things I wanted to share, I didn't touch on it a lot, but my family, at the last point, when I got sober, my relationships with everyone in my family were gone. My father was my number one enabler. He's also Captain Al-Anon. He's been in Al-Anon he started with my mom, so 20 some years. He cut me off completely financially, emotionally, and he did I'll love you from afar and I'll pray for you. My mother, before I got sober, I held on to that resentment from my childhood for a very long time, and it was like a fire that just burned, and anything she did in the present, I would take that anger from the past, and I wasn't capable of having a relationship with her. My brother and I had gone through a lot of ups and downs, and I say that to say that this past year, at my wedding, that every single one of them were there, and it was the most amazing experience to feel where our relationships are now and amongst each other. And it only by the grace of God could that happen. Let's see. So when Sally asked me to speak last night, of course my first reaction was, let me think of a reason not to. But like I said, I do know that I owe AA everything, and I also know that it's a way to meet y'all and let y'all get to know me, and I am very grateful for the opportunity to speak. So thank you.